We are back on. We now have Mike Lagrasso, our law director, to discuss the law department 7740. Take it away, Mike.
Contract negotiations, once again, we have collective bargaining agreements being negotiated this year. There was a decision of the mayor and the finance director and everyone, other chiefs, to engage some outside counsel, which we brought in Mansard Gavin to assist us because we anticipated some hard negotiations, which is coming true.
So these are, excuse me, Mike.
Yes.
For this contract negotiation, that's the reason why it's up to 15?
Yes, because we're doing all four of the service and police and dispatch.
All right.
All
Okay.
four unions are being negotiated again.
Will it be for longer than 1 year? Or?
No, we're doing 1 year again to try to get all the contracts back on the same cycle. So then hopefully in the next cycle we can go back to 3 years. It's worked out, I think, good for both the city and the unions in that regard because of the economy and the city's finances. They've worked with us. You know, last year, we didn't use outside counsel. I handled all the negotiations. We negotiated a 4.6% reduction in all the unions. That equal to about somewhere close to, Joe said, about $375,000 savings to the bottom line in the general fund. This year we're trying to basically hold the line, get them back to where they were in 2010. So a few years ago to those same levels, but with no pay increase above where they were a couple years ago. So that's where we're at with them. Other professional services, it's been kind of held there. You'll see over the course of the years we've drastically reduced anything we did there. We've used that fund for appraisers in the past, but now if we hire an appraiser like we just did for the Warrensville Center parking lot, we pay them out of the outside legal expense category instead of other professional services. We also, prior to last year, we used to pay John Bauman out of outside legal expenses as well.
Who's John Bauman?
John Bauman is a consultant that we retained on a retainer basis to help us with economic development issues, mostly Cedar Center. He was actually an employee of the original developer of Catlin Properties back in '04 and '05 when they were going to do Cedar Center.
Remember when?
He's now, the city's used his service and he's been a great help to us in negotiating with GFS, or Bob Evans, Coral and DeVille. So that's where we pay John out of.
Okay. I just want to make sure I got this. The outside legal expenses went up because Tony Bondra is going to that.
That's where he's going to be paid out of now.
He's going to be paid out of that, and then
we reduced to zero the wages, the salary for that prosecutor position to zero.
And then any other expense, any other expenses dealing with any other issues will also be paid out of
Yes.
that? Or that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Like last year, all the work we did with Oakwood came out of there. The work that we
Well,
did
we
for
started, last year we did start moving that to economic development.
right.
So-
Bauman did.
Right.
Bauman, not the work that
Oh, right, I'm
I
sorry,
did
right,
for
no, right,
Oakwood,
right,
or
right,
like
right.
the income tax credit when we had to litigate that was paid out of there.
Mike, you've given us the past breakdown for these. Could you do that, for the breakdown for the outside legal expenses, like, firms and everything else? I can't
I can
figure
do
it.
that.
Yeah, would you do that?
Yeah, we can, Joe has all that, yeah.
So the firm, okay.
Thank you.
Projected or past? Or projected for this year, is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
This is what's projected.
that's what's projected.
But you're talking about the breakdown of how it
Yeah, you
goes?
want actual breakdown of what we spent.
Yeah.
I have that, I have like 3 years, I probably don't have 2011 down, but I think I have up to
Oh.
2010 down.
Okay, you're talking about.
Yeah, you gave us the stuff for 2011. I couldn't figure it out. I mean, I gave her, somebody gave
Yeah, I
us the
did.
stuff. Yeah, and I couldn't figure it out, so, but if you
I'll-
could
I'll
give us, that'd
do
be great. So this year is based upon, just like a mirror image of last year,
Yes.
assuming that, you know,
Exactly,
so,
which was based on a mirror image of really the year before,
okay.
and the year before. You know, from 2004, right, when, you know, I came in with the mayor,
Right.
we've pretty much consistently reduced that amount of money in outside legal. The only year I think we had a spike was the year we did the Cedar Center, you know, eminent domain litigation, which, as you're aware, we had quite a bit.
Mike, do you anticipate having more outside legal expense than last year? Because last year we had, you know, Cedar Center, we had,
Right.
you know, all this other stuff going on. What's gonna happen this year?
You know, Mo, I don't have a crystal ball, but remember, we do have 2 parcels still up at Cedar Center
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I'm actively involved with, trying to get
Mhm.
something going on there. So hopefully we'll get something moving on those 2 pieces. So that's why I built
Yeah.
this in a little bit here,
Okay,
so.
I was just wondering if we were gonna have more active legal, outside legal expense.
Hopefully we have,
You should have less this year.
Apparently about
Would hope, yeah.
14,000 more.
Well,
No,
that's
yeah, if you
because-
take, if you take out bonds, there's 22, bonds is at 1,900, Mike?
mhm.
Times 12 is 22.8. So if you take out 22.8 from that 174, you get 151. That's, would be the outside legal, 151,
Okay,
before Bondra.
Ah,
I
right.
take, because now that 22.8 is coming out of the front page of
But
personal
Bondra's
services.
Bonder's in the 160 also, so you gotta.
No, he's not.
No,
No, he's in his, yes, he is, but that's for his, not for his prosecutor's job. That's for his miscellaneous outside legal, that's still gonna be there this year. The additional Bondra is the, for going upstairs to courts.
Well,
Taking
but
Mary's
he did Mary's
place.
job last year, so where did that come from?
part of it came from that fund.
So I guess my point is, the money that Bonder got paid for doing Mary's job would have been in outside legal services if you paid.
I don't, he, first of all, I don't think he got paid nearly as much.
No, we didn't, we didn't pay.
And we didn't use it that much. I mean,
Yeah.
you used it, but not as much as you would have used Mary. And he'll probably be used more this year. Well,
Yeah, he is. He's used more this year. He wasn't used as much last year.
and Mike did a lot
Year.
more of the prosecuting
Yeah,
job.
and then I took over, just
Yeah.
absorbed Mary's Thursdays and into my time. And
Not to be crazy about it, but if it worked so well last year, with him doing it scaled back, why give him more hours this year? Continue to do what you did last year.
well, I'm not giving him more hours than the prosecutors. He's picking up more hours doing civil work. So he wears 2 hats, where Mike Shaughnessy only wears 1.